So, what is a storefront? Storefront is a web server which allow you to log in, authenticate, and enumerate the resources. This is access layer. Next component is control layer. So, control layer means the layer which the administrators will control the complete environment. Okay, they will control the environment. So, controlling the environment means the most or all of the infrastructure components will be residing in this layer. First of all, we need AD server. AD server. In that AD server, we should have DNS and DHCP also. We need all these components. We need DNS, we need DHCP, we need AD server. This is the very critical prerequisites that we need. Okay. Next, we need SQL server, which is for our database. Then we need license server, Citrix license server. Okay,
So
not
all
license
these
server.
different individual entities, right? Individual VMs, right?
Yes, individual build. It is recommended for the production environment, and that too two numbers, not one SQL server or one license server. License server one is fine. SQL server should be two. AD server should be two. License server one. Why it is fine? Because Citrix can communicate only a single license server, and even you can create some cluster also. We can create, and we can point to the license server, but Citrix license server, if it is down, so it will give you the it will give you some 30 days of grace period. Okay, it will get you to get into the grace period for time being. So license server is a very small component which you can bring up if you are taking the VM level backup within an hour or 2 hour. You can get the license server back within the grace period. So that is why it is not very critical component, which without which you cannot your Citrix environment will not run. If
So,
this license server goes down for one
mhm.
day, 1 hour, its environment will run because of the grace period.
So why we require AD server, DNS, DHCP, SQL server
I'll tell you.
control?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Then apart from the license server, next, see whatever the hierarchy I mentioned, same hierarchy you have to have this in the environment. Suppose you are going to Citrix, you cannot install delivery controller if you don't have AD, DNS, DHCP. You cannot install delivery controller if you don't have SQL. You cannot install delivery controller if you don't have license. Without license, you can install. Without license, without SQL, you can install, but you cannot configure it. Okay. So that is why before the components that you have, before the prerequisites, you cannot install the Citrix component. It is recommended you should install the Citrix component after the prerequisites are available. Which are the prerequisites? You have the AD server, DNS server, DHCP server, SQL server. There are the two numbers of components. Why? If in case one goes down, another server is there for service. Then delivery controller. Okay. Then delivery controller also we need to, but there is a limit. It's not that if you have 10,000 users, still we need to. No. One delivery controller is support up to 5,000 as per Citrix. But as per my best practice or as per my experience, I usually go with the take some kind of buffer depending upon the other loads. Say for example, XML authentication, or depending upon the application, like say a login depends upon the multiple logins, and if you are going to configure the LHC, so it is better to have some additional to have some buffer. So if one delivery controller goes up to 4,000 users, if you have 10,000 users, so for 4,000 user itself you need one, another 4,000 you need another one, and for another 2,000 you need one more delivery controller. Controller you need for the users,
So three
but
different
one more.
licenses we need to
No, no,
take.
no, no. License is not for the delivery controller. License is for the users.
Okay.
If you have 3,000 users, you need 3,000 licenses. That's all.
So is there any so after like 10, if you have 10,000 users, if we have like divided into two parts, like three parts, like 35,
Mm,
35 and 35, 100
mm,
users,
mm.
then in the sense, how we can know if there is a single point of failure in DC1 or
I'll tell you.
DC2 or DC3? Okay.
I'll tell you that. I'll give you that example. Let me just finish this controller. Okay. The delivery controller we need two minimum. Okay. Director server. Director server we can install it on the delivery controller if it is a small environment. Still, if you don't want to mix the director server on the delivery controller, you want to keep it separate just for a clean setup. So you can have at least one director server. Okay. Because director server without director server, your environment will run. Director server is just to monitor. Director server is to monitor. So without which your environment will run, but you will not be able to monitor like issues, what is happening, how many machines are, how many users are logged in, if in case any machines are down, that we cannot know. So at least you need one director server to monitor them. If it is a
So
big environment,
is it
if
data
it is a,
server, delivery controller, Citrix license? Are these all on Citrix? Like these are Citrix products, right?
yes,
Okay. If we just purchase licenses, then delivery controller, director, monitor, everything comes to default, right?
yes,
Only
yes.
thing is
One set,
okay,
one set of file, you will get all this.
okay.
So director, it will just monitor that will need one. If in case your environment is very large, say for example 10,000 users are there, and you are getting too many calls, too many issues in the environment, so you need to monitor director very frequently. And there are 20 to 30 administrators or 20 administrators are there who are managing the complete environment, 10,000 user environment, and they are very frequently they are logging in. So you need to have a two director server with load balance. Because if you director server has individual URL, director server one will have a director server one URL, director server two will have the director server two URL. So you need to load balancer to load balance the two director servers. Okay.
So I have a question here, Amar. As we have a like what is it called? One second. I forgot. When I recollect, I'll ask you. One second.
Okay. Okay. So this is the director server. Apart from that, if you are going to access the server OS based VDAs, then you need a RDS license server, client access license server. Okay. Also, we need to for the profile management file server, we need to keep your profiles. Okay. Roaming profiles. Okay. So in our lab, we'll not configure the roaming profiles. We'll just go with the normal local profile. And because roaming profile again, it takes long time to configure file server, roaming profile, that components. So file server, in the file server, you can keep it. You can create a file server to store your files, to share your files, keep your profiles, and share some folders. So this is where we need. Without this also, you can work. RDS license server we need because we are going to access the server VDH. Okay. This is a control layer. Now let us example of the 10,000 users that we are discussing. Okay. Suppose this is the 10,000 users. What I told, we have to delivery controller, and one more thing, delivery controller in short we call that DDC. DDC means desktop delivery controller. Okay. Desktop delivery controller, DDC. So for DDC one, say for example 4,000 users. Okay. DDC two will have 4,000 users.
Basically, the limit
DDC
is four
three,
thousand, right,
no,
Amar?
limit, the Citrix limit is 5,000. But
Okay,
usually I keep
okay.
some buffer. Suppose I'm going with the real time design. Okay. So rest 2,000. I'm planning. Okay. But actually what happens, you will come to know. This is where I'm supporting for all the 10,000 users. But what happens if any delivery controller goes down? Suppose delivery controller 2 goes down. Where these 4,000 users will go? They cannot go to delivery controller 1 because already it is loaded. Then only half of the users, they can go to delivery controller 3, where another half users will go. So for the redundancy purpose, we need delivery controller 4 also. Okay. If in case at any moment, if any delivery controller goes down or anything happens, so it will load to delivery controller 4. But in actual scenario, what happens when I'm going to create all these 4 delivery controllers? Okay, they share the same license server, same database. All the four delivery controllers share same license server and share same database. So what will happen? All the 10,000 users will be distributed within the delivery four delivery controllers. It's not that we cannot define delivery controller 4,000 users go to delivery controller 1, another 4,000 users go to delivery controller 2, another 2,000 users go to delivery controller 3, and delivery controller 4 will be idle. If
So
in
if
case
it's
any controller goes down, it should go there. It does not happen like this.
so if anything goes down, like the three goes down, DDC three
It
goes
will
down,
distribute. We have already delivery controller 4 for the redundancy. Okay,
yeah,
it
like
will
how
support.
it will go? Like is there any tool we have, or do we need to manually
No, no, it will be
move to
taken
the
care by the
machines?
delivery controller. It will be taken care by the delivery controller habit. They communicate with the database, their status, how many connections through which delivery controller. They will take care internally.
Okay, so usually in VMware, how it works with high availability concept, right? So here,
Same
does
thing
it
here
work
also, high
similar to?
availability.
Okay, so
Same thing here
okay,
also.
so what is the in Citrix? What is it called here? Like in VMware, we call it as high availability, right? In server,
Same here, high availability.
same name.
Delivery
Okay,
controller, yes. Delivery controller, high availability, redundancy, you can say. It is not just about high availability. It is about load balancing, high availability, redundancy. Okay, if in case one goes failure, another will be there to serve, and also it will do the load balancing. Load in the
okay,
balancing in the sense, if you have 10,000 users, it will distribute within four machines. So how in a
okay,
real time it will work? So if you have 10,000 users, so 2,500 each BM will get. Each delivery controller will have 2,000 to 2,500 users each delivery controller. If in case one delivery controller goes down, so what will happen? That 4,000 users will be distributed within another three delivery controllers. Like that, it will happen.
So yeah, so in the VMware, we manually do the HA configuration, right? Based
Here,
on
no
like
need to do.
no
Here,
need to
no
do.
need to do
Okay,
anything. Automatically, it will be taken care. Okay.
okay.
So after control layer, we have one more layer that is called resource layer.
But we can manually turn it off, right? If you don't want that concept, Amar,
Which concept?
high availability one. If you don't want,
Then
can we manually turn it off
no, no,
in
no.
DCs? No.
No, if you are having, see, if you don't want high availability, then don't put a DDC delivery controller 4. That's all. Only two delivery controller you keep it. Even three you don't keep. If you go with the Citrix sizing, okay. If I'm going with Citrix sizing, then for 10,000 users, I'll be keeping only two delivery controller 1, delivery controller 2. So both the delivery controller will divide 5,000 users. If in case one delivery controller down, then another delivery controller cannot hold that. So what will happen? Maybe the resources will try to go through that delivery controller 1, which may create some kind of bottleneck or latency, and your delivery controller 1 itself also can create some issues, performance issues. Okay, so that is where you cannot handle this manually. You have to plan for the redundancy. Okay,
Okay.
resource layer is actually the resources. Okay, here all your published apps, desktops that you are going to give to the end users. Okay, what the end users will access will be published, configured here in the resource layer. And simply if I create one master image, okay, simply if I create one master image, that does not mean that it is there for the Citrix environment unless I install VDA on this. What is a VDA? Virtual
Virtual desktop agent, you said, is that correct?
delivery agent. Okay.
Oh, delivery agent. Okay.
Delivery agent or desktop agent. Similarly, for a Horizon, it called virtual desktop agent. That there is also agent. So here, server, agent, client. Three things are coming. Okay. In control layer, you are having servers. In the resource layer, it comes agent and the client who is going to access the agents. Okay. Are you getting this?
Little confused. So in server, like in resource layer, we install master image, which is virtual delivery agent, But in servers, you said some. What
In
was it?
master image, you'll be having, okay, let me be more specific. In master image, you'll be having the operating system, say for example, Windows 10, 11, or 2016, or 2019. Okay, then your applications, what you are going to access. Okay, suppose you are going to access, office application or any application. You have to install it from master management.
Applications.
Yes, master management, you should have an operating system with all your required applications, and then you install the agent. Okay.
Okay. And are these all the applications are operating system based or web based?
Can be web-based means you have the browser, correct? Web-based application, client server application, any application. It is possible.
Okay. Is it possible to
Okay.
install on the master image?
Yes. A application which can be delivered to your laptop can be given through the master image. Generally, web-based applications are given through your browser, like bookmark, or say for example your subscription based, like for example you log into your machine automatically. O365 will be configured. The same case over here also. This is a machine, correct?
Yeah, so
Finally this is
basically,
operating.
for Microsoft 365, we need to have separate license, right? Separate hosting services, right?
Yes. So the license what we have discussed, that is for Citrix license. Okay. But apart from Citrix license, we need operating system license, all application licenses, your office licenses, anything that you use, that's separate. That does not come under Citrix license.